Bro, that's it. It's it. The Obamas are getting a divorce. You can't tell me any difference. And the thing is, you're not going to see it. The revolution in their bedroom will not be televised. The reason being, public figures, they have to fake it for the world stage. They can't ever actually admit that they're breaking up, especially with a prominent relationship like the Obamas. But it's too much stacked against them, especially with the former first lady starting up this odd ass television show with her brother, who looks more like her sister. I mean, the nigga looked more like Michelle Obama than Michelle Obama. That's not even important. She starts up this random show without Barack Obama, which is the centerpiece of the whole relationship, of course. Obama's being seen out in public with Jennifer Aniston, going to Clippers basketball games and five-star restaurants with his wife, including going to the funeral of Jimmy Carter without Michelle Obama. So they're constantly being seen apart from each other. She's starting a new business venture outside of her relationship as if she's a divorced wife. And the children both appear to have been making pretty bad decisions. So it appears that there is some trouble in paradise. And let's just talk about it. Let's talk about the Obamas and their overall failure of this new podcast that you might not have heard about. But I think you should, because we're going to have some fun.
Well, Barrack, he had to adjust to what on time was for me.
Because he was on that island time.
Well, but, I've got this husband who's like, when it's time to leave, it's 3 o'clock, he's getting up and going to the bathroom. And I was like, dude, like 3 o'clock departure means you've done all that, It's like, don't start looking for your glasses.
So strange that she starts this podcast off on the first episode, which is a failed episode, everyone. This is a pretty bad failure, this whole endeavor. I'm not lying. We're going to break down the numbers of this podcast. But she starts it off by talking about her pet peeves with Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Obama. And she's breaking down the things she don't like about him. This kind of feels kind of odd, especially with the divorce circulating, all of these rumors, especially with Barack Obama just getting his mansion in Hawaii. It's almost done, but it's been confirmed that his best friend, Martin Nesbitt, which is, like I said, he suffers a pretty terrible conspiracy theory that, and I'm speaking about Martin, that he's the true father of Barack and Michelle's kids. Like I said, this is just a conspiracy theory. It's nothing that I'm saying I believe. But it's interesting that that individual that has that conspiracy behind him is the person that's staying in the Obama's mansion. So Michelle, it was already confirmed that she's been staying in Hawaii since January. That in itself is interesting because she was staying away from Barack Obama while he was staying in Martha's Vineyard. Now, some might wonder, why is Barack Obama moving to Hawaii from Martha's Vineyard? He already had property there, everyone, of course. But his main premises is going to be in Hawaii, which he's going back home. The thing that's interesting about this, most presidents, when they're done being president, they go back home. Many people had the conspiracy that Obama was running a deep state, which is why he was in Martha's Vineyard, because it's a lot faster to fly to D.C. from Martha's Vineyard. Now losing his complete grip of America, it appears, because Trump has full power. He's more powerful now than the first presidency. We were told that Obama was a spying on Trump during the first presidency and had moles in the White House. We're not hearing the same reports, and that makes me feel like it kind of validates the whole thing that Obama was behind a deep state, because he's going back home. But he's going back home with Martin Nesbitt and Michelle Obama, but she's already been there. The whole thing is weird. The whole thing is strange. And Michelle Obama, she starts a new business endeavor with her family member, not Barack, not with her daughters. It's odd, guys. It's very, very odd. It's almost like it was a fake relationship, and she's going back to her roots, and he's going back to his.
At the 3 o'clock departure. But he's improved over 30 years of marriage.
Yep. New York Post said the reveal comes as Barack has made several public appearances without former First Lady, which is, of course, what we just talked about. Yep. I just spoke about that as well. I mentioned all of these things. Yeah. Without Michelle. It was one of the oddest Valentine Day posts that of Barack Obama and Michelle. It was like one of those posts where everyone in your family and your business, and they know you broke up, and y'all got back together knowing you weren't supposed to, and you ashamed about it, but you're going to post a photo to let the family know like y'all ain't got nothing to talk about, although they do have something to talk about. That's the energy it gave on that Valentine's Day photo. Because how y'all smiling with each other on the photo and then you're seen apart right after? Kind of strange, kind of strange. And Michelle didn't look too happy on that Valentine's Day photo. Look at that. That does not look like a happy woman. That's like, here, nigga, damn picture, you know? Like it's Valentine's Day. That you the president, I'm the former first lady. Let's get this picture out the way. Come on, bro. Let's just get this shit out the way. And I'm gonna be honest, it isn't the best depiction of Michelle right here. I don't think Barrack actually loves this woman because it's the picture he went with. Because Michelle looks much better in different lights and different angles. But I'm not even here to disrespect Michelle or talk on no woman. That in itself is like gay. But I mean, come on, bro. They got Michelle looking like, come on, man. Come on, man. Brock don't love that woman because you ain't gonna have your woman going out like that. She reminds me of the man. I don't want to do it, but just this angle that Brock has, it reminds me of the mummy on Courage the Cowardly Dog that was asking people to return the slab. It's like he don't love her no more, bro. You ain't gonna have your woman going out like that. So that was the Valentine's Day photo. It's sus.
Hey, TikTok, it's Michelle Obama, and I'm here with my big brother, Craig.
Hey, everybody.
Like I said, he looks more like Michelle than Michelle looks like Michelle. I don't know. Dude looks super, super, super happy and friendly, jolly and gay. And I mean gay in a happy way. Now, if you take that and you make it something else, I'm telling you, he looks gay in a happy way. He's very jolly. A very happy-go-lucky person. Candyland ass nigga.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new podcast called IMO.
He looks like he
Michelle
loves
Obama
ice cream.
And Craig Robinson.
And we just posted the trailer if you want to check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah, and I don't know. You know, and people are saying, well, he looks like a transgender. He looks like a He doesn't look like a transgender. It's just that people will say, Michelle, yeah.
Thanks, you guys. See you soon.
I am Michelle.
And I am Craig.
I just want you guys to see that they were actually promoting this show, trying to get this show out there, trying to let people know that they got the show out. Obviously, they had some press releases. Mainstream media was talking about it. Just type in the words IMO Michelle, and you'll see that media was pushing this show and marketing this show. So they wanted it to be a successful podcast. But it was everything but. So the first episode aired today. Before we get into the numbers, let this play out real quick.
And Craig here is my big brother.
And you all know my sister Michelle, or Mish as our family has always called her.
We are so excited for you to listen to our
When the hell did that lore just drop? When is it? Okay.
brand new podcast. It's called IMO with Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson. Together, Craig and I are going to take your questions about the challenges you're grappling with in life. Because let's be real, we are living through some really complicated and confusing times, and people are feeling more alone than ever. But what I've learned is that if you're feeling a certain kind of way, the reality is that others are probably feeling that way too. And when you take the time to be just...
It's a podcast about nothing. It does sound like someone that just recently got out of divorce. What is the podcast about? I'm hearing this and I still don't understand what it's about.
a little vulnerable and open up about it. It's a whole lot easier to find the answers you're looking for.
Every week, we'll be joined by some of our friends, special guests, and experts who will keep us honest.
I'm telling you right now, this podcast won't be here by June the 8th.
While also adding their own opinions to the mix. And look, we're not saying we have all the answers either. Far from it.
But we do have plenty of opinions, don't we?
You sharing your weakness makes you strong. Like you being able to tell them, I went through this, I found help, and I've come out the other side.
And I want young women to just practice asking for what you want. It's okay to hear no. It's okay to hear I don't love you like that.
Like, it's one thing to say I want to achieve this for me. And then there's another thing to say I want to achieve something because I'm expecting all of this to come with it.
So get in touch, send us your questions, and join us every week.
On IMO with Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson. Subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, it just, we started talking about this at the outset, why we're doing this show.
You know, post White House and writing the books and doing book tours, you know, speaking at leadership conferences, things you do as a coach, you realize that what we have even in our lack of resources, in our household growing up, we had people who would share their opinions, give us advice. We had mentors, and we were used to mentoring and being mentored. And I realize that a lot of people don't have that. They don't have a safe place to come.
I'll tell you what, I hate to say it, Michelle Obama is nowhere near as entertaining when she isn't angry as hell. When she's mad as shit and talking about Donald Trump, she brings out a lot more interesting points. But this is some damn boring hogwash. And another thing is, Miss Obama, why the hell you go there wearing a collar shirt? You already know what the conspiracies is, and you don't make it easy for people that defend you. I've defended her before and say that she's a woman. But nigga, you ain't making it easy on people like me when you go out there wearing a collar shirt that my daddy would put on. Like, bro, it's just like, are they trolling us? It's a boring show. So, of course, I'm going to gravitate to the collar shirt. I can't help but see it because there's nothing else to pay attention to on the show. Bring some interesting topics, and can you dress like a woman?
Sometimes.
Right.
Where they feel comfortable being vulnerable and asking hard questions, or they don't have people in their lives they trust. They are lone wolves, or maybe they have contentious relationships where they're estranged from the people they could rely on. So a lot of people out there are looking for guidance. A lot of people have questions they want to know, especially when they see somebody of note with a platform who, by every measure looks successful. The first question is, how'd you do this? Tell me more. So I can only access so many people through books or at tours or at, limited leadership conferences. So I think this podcast, first and
oh my
foremost,
Lord, do you hear that? She can only access so many people through paid partnerships. Everything she named, she get paid for. This mug get paid $300,000 to $500,000 minimum per speaking engagement. And it's, I can only reach so many people. Yeah, people that can afford your expensive ass prices. This is this type of stuff where you got to listen to people speak and take hold of what they say. Hold them accountable for it. Everything she just named was public events. She ain't say shop at the grocery store, at this kitchen, or whatever it is. Whatever it is, just to assist people. Everything she said was about monetization. So she was saying, I can only reach so many people. Put it like this. She can only speak she only has so many choices, so many options to monetize her voice, her story, herself. So this podcast is going to help extend her monetization opportunities, is what she's saying. I can talk to you niggas while getting paid by doing this without having to leave my damn house.
Almost gives us an opportunity to hear from folks. We're going to be taking, questions from listeners who are going through some things and just need a little advice.
And there you go. So look, out of all of the marketing and promotion that they've done, this is what Michelle Obama and her brother has accomplished. 8.5 thousand views on YouTube in 10 hours. I've gotten better views of that. I'm just short of about 50,000 or so. I just got about like 50,000 subs. Hell, new channels do better than that. And that's nothing to mock, scoff at, okay? If you get 8.5K views in 10 hours, you're doing better than me. But the former First Lady of the United States of America that has mainstream media that's promoting her, that has social media accounts that's promoting her, managers, etc., if you drop something in 10 hours and it's 8.5, nigga, you flopped. That don't make no sense that all this effort went into a flop, but it tells you something. And I got the CNN clip what Scott Jennings said today. She's not as popular and impactful as people hyped her up to be. It's a complete false narrative that Michelle is this impactful person. She's not. She's not. She's just a has-been star where her time has gone. She hasn't really impacted the United States. Women are still doing, listen, black women are down bad worse now than ever, nigga. What has she done? Because all hip-hop had to do is stop focusing on black men and start focusing on black women. And now we seeing promiscuous women like never before in the black communities, thanks to people like Sexy Reds, the Ice Spice. And I know we had Nicki Minaj and all these people before. But it was never pushed out where you had so many frequent stars coming up that's pushing the same narrative from female artists, for just artistry as a whole. So you see less male rappers and more female rappers because females are the target. And it doesn't look like anything that Michelle Obama has said has affected any of these women. She's not as impactful as many might think.
If you don't like the Obama bros, how about an actual Obama? Michelle, the former First Lady, and her brother Craig Robinson are launching their own pod where they promised to save nothing but to provide plenty of experts, special guests, and opinions. And the people want to know, Michelle Obama, what is her future? Because last we checked, Democrats are in the desert, they're in the wilderness, and Michelle Obama, she is at the top of the pile. Choice for president. There's really no one else who is more popular than her in this party. What's she gonna do?
I think she's living her best life. I think she's doing whatever the hell she wants, wearing whatever the hell she wants, putting her hair in whatever shape she wants it. Look, I think that I've always thought that the messages and the shape of a political party come from the people. And when you see those people that are doing impromptu protests, or those thousands and thousands of people that are showing up to see Bernie Sanders speak truth, people who are showing up to Republican town halls and holding those folks accountable, I think that that's where the future of the Democratic Party is going to come from. Folks who think that there's going to be some sort of magic bullet, some sort of magic cohesive message that drops like manna from heaven or from the mouth of Michelle Obama or Schumer or you name it, are wrong. It's going to be about the people. They're going to set the tone.
I don't think the Democratic Party has a problem with the messenger. I think they have a problem with the messaging. I think that people aren't buying what they're selling. People don't want open borders. People want law and order. People want jobs. They want economic development. And I think basically that's why President Trump won. And I think that's why we held the majority in the Congress. And I think that basically it's not their messenger, it's their messaging. People don't like their message.
Who are better at being the messenger and the message than Michelle Obama. I mean, she just is a better communicator than most people.
And I think people see her as incredibly authentic because she always is true to who she is, right? And I thought what was notable about the podcast description is it's not politics, right? It's about life, how you deal with life and bringing on guests who are helpful with that. And we live in a time that's very uncertain. People are scared. There's division. And I think there's a lot of need for authenticity from Democrats and Republicans.
Well, I got news for Michelle Obama. Nobody cares. We need Michelle Obama to say something that is going to make us feel okay with how things are going right now.
What can Michelle Obama do?
For one thing, he completely deprogrammed the right. He deprogrammed them. He reprogrammed them to speak to their constituency in a way that moves the people. There's got to be somebody that does that for the Democrats. Michelle Obama is the most trusted voice on the left by
Gavin Newsom is.
far. It's malpractice.
Listen, it's hard to believe that when you have people like Gavin Newsom that just did that podcast with Charlie Kirk and it went viral, right? And you have Michelle Obama flopping. Niggas like him with the cowboy hat, he's stuck in the past. We gotta move on from the past. Currently, she don't have motion.
People that are wondering and uncertain about the trajectory of this country don't get something out of her podcast. She's got to do it. Another lifestyle podcast.
She can't stay out of it. She can't
stay out of it.
She's making money and having fun.
She's not making money on her podcast.
Are sort of all, it's like programmed it.
Chad, I'm gonna tell you straight up, you're not gonna make much money on no 8.5K views.
Great she
not for Michelle Obama, not the money she needs.
is and how smart she is. I mean, she campaigned a lot for Kamala Harris. She was a key speaker of the Democratic National Convention. Barack Obama was a key strategist for this whole thing that happened last year. And yet somehow Donald Trump still won. So I'm rethinking the premise of that she's the answer to the future, or that any politician is the answer to the Democratic Party.
I mean,
she's not a politician.
She's so good that Melania Trump stole her speech.
I'm sorry, what?
She's so good that Melania Trump plagiarized her speech, or do you not remember?
And you like her,
at the
Scott?
Republican convention.
Scott, you like Michelle Obama?
Yeah, I think she's fine, but just after the I thought she gave a wonderful speech as far as convention speeches go. I'm just looking at what happened last fall. The Obamas helped engineer Biden's ouster. They put in Harris. They co-ran the campaign. She campaigned for him. And it was a total failure. I'm just wondering how good
I love his face when he announced that it was a total failure. He just kept a straight face and he looked at the camera and smiled, dude. That's Freaking
staying out
hilarious.
of it.
I think people like her
Because
because
she
she's
knows that there are
conducted herself with great dignity.
And she will.
Since she has left the White House, and I think people on both sides of the aisle appreciate that, even though that she's partisan.
Be some momentum picking up in the rumor mill about their marriage. First, on January 15th, in the Substack of Jessica Reed Krause, also known as...
And if you've seen this before, I apologize, but for those that haven't, I think it's really important just because it goes into the whole divorce conspiracy. This started up circulating around January, and now we're starting to see more effects of what appears to be a divorce of the Obamas.
House and Habit. She posts the following. Michelle Obama's absence at Jimmy Carter's funeral certainly raised some eyebrows, but yesterday's announcement that she won't be attending Trump's inauguration confirms something is definitely going on between her and Barack. Whispers about cracks in their relationship have been circulating in D.C. for over a year now, but this feels like the first public proof of a marriage on the rocks. If I had to guess, they will wait until after the inauguration to announce it. Timing, is everything. And yet the story doesn't end there. For months, I've heard Jennifer Aniston's name tied to Barack. Then Jessica cites a DM she received the day before. Quote, "He's with Jennifer Aniston. My old manager, now a friend, is connected to her inner circle. At a gathering with Jennifer's friends, the affair came up casually. Jennifer herself admitted it. They were sitting with a psychic, which makes it sound surreal, but it's definitely not a secret among her closest friends." Then yesterday, Meghan McCain had a discussion about this on her show, suggesting she is hearing the same. She had on Tara Palmieri, who's a reporter, saying, "Fast and furious loud, I've been hearing this rumor about the Obamas getting a divorce from reputable people. I'm not talking about TMZ," she says. "I'm talking about very serious journalists telling me they are hearing that the Obama divorce rumors are true." And Tara, who's a senior political correspondent for Puck, says, "I've certainly heard it for a while, too, even before Michelle said she wasn't coming to the inauguration." I do not know whether this is true at all, but if it is true, it truly would be a political earthquake in Democrat circles. Never mind America. I don't remember a presidential divorce in
history. Yeah. I don't remember a presidential divorce in modern history, which is why you typically won't see it. Mainstream media and the PR companies, they work to hide these things. They allow them to have relationships out of public eye. Even having children outside the public eye, it's something that's been done before. So like I said, I don't think it'd be televised. But the more data that we have that come up from it, it's a very interesting story. I'm staying on top of it. I will drop it down as soon as I got full confirmation, and I'm going to get the divorce records, because that's one thing they would have to show, unless they would do it without the records and, get married outside of paperwork with another significant other. But there will be something that materializes that we can present to others to validate that they are indeed separated. And I truly do think that'll be here before the end of the month, the way these things are moving. But we're staying on touch with this. Hope you guys been enjoying the content. Sorry I missed the first post for the day. I got boxes and stuff behind me, as you can see, packing up everything to get to Miami. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy journey. So please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated for the next post until we break the next narrative. See you guys. Narrative Breaker.